Thank you very much. Brennan?
All right. Thanks, Anastasia. Perfect. So want to welcome everyone. Thanks for coming on here. You can see I got a BreezeMax Web branded background here. You might see right through my eyes. You can see the blue in the background. So don't worry about that. I have eyes. Welcome. We are broadcasting live. Obviously, hey there. How's it going? I can see you waving there. Broadcasting live west to east, north to south, anywhere you can imagine. We even have Steve on from Australia, which is awesome. So Steve's back on. Welcome everyone for coming back on, and also new guests. So we hope that you find a ton of value from this, and also we have some next steps for you, as Anastasia mentioned. If you wanted to take advantage of some free tools and some business support tools, really to keep your business going. And so, if you let us know in the chat actually where you're coming in from, where you're calling in from, sorry, if you're calling in from the East Coast of Canada, or even we have a lot of businesses from the States. We've had hundreds and hundreds on this call over the last couple of weeks. It's been very successful. Keep yourself muted throughout, if you don't mind, just to keep us on track and focused for myself and Chris. Take some notes, and please treat this as a normal seminar, a usual seminar that you would go to in person, right? And so what you would do in person is you would be focused, be paying attention, try to focus on how you can take away this information and implement it right away into your business, and or talk to us about helping you with that. And we'll get started. So today we're excited, obviously, as Anastasia mentioned, to have Chris Meunier back on. I'll be introducing him in about 10 to 15 minutes after my part. And we've had some good topics. Last week's topics were how to capitalize on the huge spike in traffic and get more referrals with your business map listing. And if you're not familiar with business map listing, it's called Google My Business. It's one of the most important products. It's a foundational product. And it really just helps you get more referrals, and it helps you stand out online and to show your customers and new potential customers that you're in business, your hours, your phone number on there. So it's a really key product. This week, yesterday we had Ashwin Kodamarti on, which was awesome. He's a great speaker. Definitely join him next week. We have a part 3 of 3. He talked about how to get funding for your new business during this pandemic. A lot of grants and resources that you can tap into. And then I talked about how you can apply that into your business, having a structured marketing plan. And then next week, tomorrow, we're going to talk about a little bit more about content, branding, how it can strengthen your brand in a crisis. So those are some of the topics that we've been talking about, and we have more next week as well. So a little bit first about us. We are a Google partner, or Google Sales Channel partner. Our name is BreezeMax Web, if you haven't heard of us. We started back in 2005 in North America and Europe, and we are now still servicing all of North America, all across Canada, all across the US, coast to coast. I've been with the company personally since 2017, and we've seen a lot of changes in the marketing landscape. A lot of things have shifted even since that time, but definitely since 2005. Many of you remember the recession in 2008. And so we are embarking on this new, unprecedented, but also a difficult time that we've been through similar times like this before. So we've seen this happen, and we are prepared to kind of weather the storm and help you as a business also. And also too, normally during this time, we meet our clients in person, right? That's what makes us different as a company. We have representatives and offices in most of the major markets, especially all across Canada. And even into the States. And now we don't have that opportunity to meet with you in person. So we're doing these, and it's giving us an opportunity to spread our message. Spread our message sounds like a religion, but anyway, spread our message across North America to reach out to new businesses that we wouldn't have before, and to dive into these webinars. So we are proud to step up in this way. And if you're paying attention, you will notice that we're doing what we preach as well. We have some tools that we've been offering, and we've had some great success with these. They're called COVID-19 business support tools, and we've offered them at no charge, no contract. Seen tremendous success with our current clients. We've offered it to most of them. Probably about 90 to 95% of our clients have taken advantage of this. And as a Google partner, we have a responsibility in the community to help them out. And so when all this happened, we had to act swiftly and with precision. And this is one of the initiatives that we started with. And so it's really helping business communities across Canada but also a lot of business associations as well. We partnered with a little over 30 of them and growing every single day. And so these support tools, what are they? You can see on the screen there on the left, there's an example of a client. They're both clients, but on the left, there is a live chat function that we actually install on your website. It's, again, no charge, no contract. It's really awesome. Just helps you keep in touch with your clientele. A lot of the times, if you think of your own behavior, when you visit a website, you want to find the call button right away. Or sometimes you want to even make it easier on yourself. You want to actually message the business to just see, hey, are you open still? How are you changing your operations? What's going on, right? Keeping connected with your clients. This is the best way to do it. On the right-hand side, you'll see a banner, and this can be in the form of either a banner or a pop-up. And really, this is an advisory, just an awareness piece to say, you know, this is what we're doing. Please reach out to us at this time, or, you know, these are the precautions that we're taking. So again, we'll come back to these a little bit later. If you want to take advantage of these, reach out to my colleague and co-host Anastasia, and she'll set you up with those. You can also do add-ons as well. A lot of clients right now are seeing success with, you know, if they have an email list, if they have a database of their clients, actually reaching out to their clients through that, and touching base with them, really planting seeds for the next 2 to 3 months, if not 6 months, so that when this is done, or when business, you know, goes back to quote unquote normal, which it's gonna change, it already has, at least you will have a list of clients, new clients that you can work with, whether you're a contractor, whether you're a dentist, whether you're for your practice, whether you are a photography company, it doesn't matter. Really focus on having a book of business ready to go. So today's topic is how to be proactive with your online reputation and review strategy. I'm going to talk about your online reputation. Chris is going to talk about reviews, the importance of them, how to gather them, what not to do, and a lot more in there. As a really great presentation. So I'm excited about it, and I'm sure all of you are as well. So how can you monitor your entire online presence, right? How do you see what is being said about your business online? What pitfalls do you need to avoid? Do you know what's being said about your business online, right? This is a key question. The traffic has gone up significantly right now. We've talked about this in the last couple of weeks. Everyone's staying at home. They're researching products and services more than ever. And part of that traffic are consumers who have never heard of your business name, right? Or maybe they've heard of your business through a friend, right? Anastasia mentions a business to me, and I look them up online because I want to see, are they, you know, where they're located. I want to see their reputation. Or even if they're returning customers, maybe they did business with you once, right? A significant part of our decision-making criteria is to check online and to check all these different channels. And I'll talk about what these channels are in a minute. So do you know if you don't know what's being said about your business online, you know, why not, right? And most businesses are unaware, they're caught off guard with this. And so how do you find out, and what do you do about it? Really, I have this slide here. I thought it was a good point to mention, is a bad first impression, right? We've all met a person for the first time in our lives, or a business even, where we're not impressed with that individual. They didn't leave us a lasting impression, let alone a good one. And so when your customers see something bad online, it's very similar. It's the online version of it, right? They're more likely to walk away, and that is critical. You can't allow that to happen. So you must be there when they're looking, and hold their attention, right? Also, when you have good reviews, and Chris will talk about more of this later, but when you have good reviews, those are what I like to call your worker bees. So they're actually going out there, spreading that message of your company, saying, this is a good brand, work with them. I'm not going to mention which business this is, but there was a prospect I was talking to a while back, it was about a year ago. And when I researched his name, I looked his actual name up, like not his business name, his personal name. And when you typed in his name on Google, there's actually a listing that came up that shouldn't have been there. There was also another business that I talked to as well that was in the contracting sector, and he closed down his business, and then when he reopened it with a different name. And so he had to remove that old business listing from Google to avoid confusion with his customer base, and also banks as well. And so to clean up this online presence a little bit better. And so, you know, there's a lot to take care of here, right, with your online presence. not having a management company in charge of it is like letting your customers walk out of your business unhappy and never following up with them, right? Who knows what they'll do, who they'll tell, and so that can spread like wildfire. And an angry customer, we all know this, but an angry customer will say a lot more than a happy one. So you need to get ahead of it. The stakes have definitely been raised, right? It's a new game, and it has been for a while, but it's the stakes have been raised even more. Consumers have more choices than ever before, right? We're bombarded with info. And so as a business, if you focus on happy customers, repeat customers, having them order a lot or do business with you a lot of the time, and then having a multitude, a plethora of customers that are constantly devoted to you and loyal to you. And so we want them, you want customers to be part of your tribe, really. And so as a business, you have to focus on it. If you are, none of us like to do business with a company that can barely keep things together, right? They're desperate for customers. That's not good. Businesses tend to focus, so there's two categories. Businesses tend to focus only on one of them mainly, and you'll see the top one there on my screen. Which is their voice, their main voice online, for example, their website, right? Or your Google My Business listing. Most just focus on this. This is from our experience meeting with thousands of businesses. It's important, but what about everything outside of that, right? If you don't have a positive offsite presence, it's called, so everything that's outside of your website that is related, that has your business name on it, and there's tons of these, I'll get into them in a minute. If you don't have a positive offsite presence, then your website and Google My Business listing won't be as valuable, right? Offsite is of equal importance, and your website and brand is only as good as the offsite pieces. And we can't emphasize that enough. What is offsite, right? These are things such as news articles, images on Google Images, video, right? Maybe customer videos, maybe your videos, message boards where your clients are going to actually talk about your brand, guest blogs, social media, maybe even, hopefully not, but maybe even tax or criminal records, right? Older links, maybe older websites that you had, you opened a new website and you forgot about it. Well, are your customers looking online to see, hey, I see this old website. Which website do I go to? Right? It's confusing for them. Maybe even you also have, like a site called Trustpilot, right? Where you get reviews on this site, maybe even angry ex-employees, right? If you have a team, if you have a small to medium-sized business, right? You have to be aware of this happening. If you're a premier business in town, really, right? Look at how this will impact your business. If let's say you have negative offsite real estate, will it affect you hiring for the future, right? Are you looking for investors, right? This will all damage your brand. So your website is your house, right? And that's your main piece of real estate. Your neighborhood and the surrounding area is your offsite reputation. So that's a good example. Hopefully you understand that. Very simple. Your house and your neighborhood, and it's a natural extension of your brand. Some may ask, but that's like telling me it's not enough that you live and pay for a nice house in a gated community. You also need to guard the gate to the community and pick up trash along the road leading up to your driveway. Yes, 100%. Right. The solution is that not caring about not caring about offsite SEO is like having that great house in the community, but none of your friends want to visit it because they've heard from others that it smells bad on the inside or it's dirty, right? And then no one can either confirm or deny it. So it's up in the air, right? That's what's happening with your online presence. There's a couple tools that you can actually use. I want to give these to you right now. No charge, just good value. Google Auto Suggest. There's a keyword tool.keywordtool.io, Keyword Explorer, answerthepublic.com. And this will help you get in front of what people are looking for online relative to your product or service. There's also mention.com, Google Alerts. Google has a bunch of these tools, and you can receive reports whenever someone is looking, whenever someone across social and web channels mentions your brand. And so it makes it simple to spot, identify it early, and manage your reputation as a business. If you ask us later on too, or we'll set up a one-on-one call, we'll give you a free audit as well, and it will explore these and show you what you're missing, what's going well, and etc. what can you do about it, right? Really, you can claim all your listings, your Yelp listing, your Google listing, right? Answering posts on social media. Do not let what your customers are saying on social media just go unanswered. Don't leave it, right? It's happened to a few of the clients. I've worked with a client that was in the health and wellness space, and they had those isolation tanks that you go into to relax. And really his social media was just blowing up all the time with messages asking, hey, can I book an appointment? Or, hey, that was a great experience. He never responded to them. How you're letting your customers down. You're letting new potential customers down. So responding to new reviews, generating reviews, Chris will talk about that in a minute. And really, there's a lot of this real estate. So if you don't know how to remove it, that's what we can help with, or push it down. Sorry. Another piece of this too, and this is a paid product. It's an amazing product. It's very cheap actually, but it's a brand awareness tool that reinforces your brand as they leave your website. So have you ever searched for a flight, let's say on a popular site like Expedia? You leave the site and all of a sudden you see flight ads follow you around on the internet, right? We've all seen that, right? Maybe you visited in this example, maybe you visited a cleaning company and they targeted you again. They're following you around on the internet. Why are they doing that? They're doing that to keep their brand top of mind, to help you keep the brand top of mind and create awareness and create a brand persona. And so this is a great way to manage some offsite real estate. The funny image here is it might seem familiar to you with the hair there, but please, I'm not trying to get into politics, but the point here with this slide is you don't want to put lipstick on a pig, right? Maybe your offsite presence is a telltale sign of the state of your brand and what you need to fix internally. So normally we do give a little bit of advice on this matter, but that's up to you, right? Internally, how are your operations running? And so if you have top operations, like you're running your business very, very well, then the offsite will take care of itself. And so sometimes by improving the offsite part of your brand, it still doesn't make an impact because your business internally is suffering. So just be aware of that as well. And getting close to the end of my part here is an example I wanted to use of a negative example of United Airlines. You may have remembered this. There was a viral video that went out of an individual that got literally dragged off the plane, right? And so this spread like wildfire. Others were engaging and continuing to keep that snowball rolling. It actually was growing larger and larger. Imagine a snowball being pushed down a hill. And so United Airlines actually didn't respond very well at first with their PR campaign, but then they jumped in and fixed it, and they had to recover. But it was a huge issue for them. So you may not have a company of this size, of course, but as a small business, you got to get ahead of these things and just be set so that if something happens down the road, you're good. And just check to see what's online right now, what is being mentioned about your business. So don't allow, and also too, with this pandemic, don't allow COVID-19 to shine a negative light on your brand, right? Get ahead of it and take care of your customers as well. As a recap, so all the pieces of real estate outside of your website matter. They're of equal importance as your on-site, your website, for example, right? Find out what's being said about you online. You can do that search right after this. Let us know what you find. Talk to us about how to clean that up, and we can help you manage your online reputation a little bit better. So next up, we're going to talk about reviews. And so we have an exciting product that we've launched a little over a year ago. It's been going very, very well. And so I'm going to introduce now our VP of Sales and Marketing, Chris Meunier. He has a Bachelor of Commerce with a marketing major. Beyond a digital marketing expert, he's a reputation management expert and Google My Business expert. He's also a Google local guide, which is a pretty cool thing. Chris is at the forefront of everything digital, and he understands really that there's no point in doing anything digital unless you take care of your reputation first and lay the proper foundation for that. So I'm very excited to welcome in Chris. Welcome back, Chris. How's it going, man?
I'm doing well. Thank you very much, Brennan, for the great introduction and the great information. That was very informative. I see we have a pretty good audience here. So I've looked in and I see some people from all over the place. So welcome. And if you didn't see last week, we kind of talked a little bit about Google My Business pages and how they can be used by small, medium-sized businesses and even large-sized businesses effectively. So this is part 2. We're continuing on with that. And basically, we're going to talk more about harvesting reviews and how you can make the most of harvesting reviews. But also, even if you are not a business that's currently needs to harvest reviews, or it's not really part of your cycle, or you're just thinking about opening a business, even as a consumer, we all have the opportunity to leave reviews. So this is still great for everyone to kind of understand the whole area of reputation management, which is really rapidly expanding. Can everybody see my slideshow? It looks good.
I can see it. Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. So we're going to get into it. And the tagline for this is take control of your reputation before others do. Because what we learned last week, looking at Google My Business pages, you do not have to create a Google My Business page for your business for there to be a Google My Business page for your business. Therefore, it's best that you check immediately if your business has one, if you're not sure. And then if you don't have one, create one and claim it. And if you do have one, claim it. And if you already have yours, whichever the situation, make sure that you take control of it before others do, because they will. So now we're going to go into the next slide really quickly here. Brendan mentioned that I'm a Google local guide. I've been leaving reviews for a very long time. I love reviews. I love looking at reviews. I love the fact that it's made businesses have to be more transparent. They can't really hide with poor service or certain things. And we can actually do a lot of social change with them. If anyone has any time, they can go take a look. Google Citizen Cafe Saskatoon. Look for a review by me from a few months ago, kind of pushing for them to get TAP because they didn't have TAP. Randy. Sorry. There's a coworker. Are you? Okay, sorry about that. Anywho, so if you go to Citizen Cafe Saskatoon, you can see a pretty cool review I left. Hopefully people use the review platform for more things like that. Anyways, what you're seeing here is a few snapshots. I have 7 million something views on the pictures, the reviews I've left, and a whole bunch of other cool stuff. So I'm somewhat qualified to talk about this. So on the left here, we're going to see Donald Draper. For those of you that don't know, he's a famous character from Mad Men, and most marketers look up to him or love that show or one of the characters on the show. And basically, reputation's all about what is being said. And if you don't like what's being said, change conversation. And you can't do that unless you control the conversation or you take control of your reputation. We're going to quickly watch about a 30-second video about our product Breeze Review. It's at the cutting edge of reputation management. Very cool and easy to use intuitive software. You'll see us role play with it in a little bit, but right now we'll put the video on for a second. All right, so that's one of our latest videos, and I hope you liked it. It was short. You can check it out later. I'm going to kind of just slide into the next slide here. Hold on, let me go back full screen. Okay, so we're going to get right into basically the vocabulary that has been formed around reputation management. All of these terms you're going to see were developed in-house by BreezeMax Web. Some of them by me, some of them by colleagues. And this is really the terms that we train our clients on. We have some great success stories of clients that have taken this information, they've run with it, and they're doing very well. So customer experience management is very simple. It's internal set of policies and procedures that companies employ to ensure customers have a great experience. Remember, no matter what business you're in, no matter what service you're providing or product, everything's about the experience. And these days, especially if you're competing with click-only businesses and you're in a brick and mortar situation and you have a higher price, you have to do something different. You have to do something that Amazon can't do, something that eBay can't do. And what is that? Provide a great experience. So make sure you're doing that, and it's always top of mind. Next, we're going to go into reputation management. So for our purposes, reputation management is basically the reputation of the company that is externally viewable by the public. RM is an output of the customer experience management and can either be positive or negative. No matter what your reputation is, you will have to manage with it. If you have 1 star, that's what you're managing with. If you have 5 stars, that's what you're managing with. And that's why we say take control of your reputation before others do. Next slide. Best option out there. So Don from Victoria & Co., great client of mine. He's in his 60s. I met him about 3 years ago. He had no clue what Google My Business was. He goes, oh, that thing. He had 19 reviews. He's actually addicted to Google My Business now. He has the best reputation out there in Toronto for upholstery cleaning. He should. He has his own little shop. He makes his own little tinctures. He's on in the Junction, for those of you that know Toronto, for those of you that don't. Very trendy area that's gentrified. It's hip. It's funky. His store's not even open to the public. It's all Victorian inside, little blue jars. He's made everything from scratch, organic, and he cares about his business, and it shows. At the end of every call, when one of his 5 vans leaves a house, he calls them right away and says, hey, how was your experience today? They say, oh, it was great. He goes, okay, I know the truck just left. Can I ask you a few questions? Because I'm running a customer experience management call. And they say, sure, Don. Then he says, hey, when they came in, did they put the little blue things on their feet? They go, yeah. He goes, okay, perfect. Did they touch the walls or leave any type of mess? No. Okay, awesome. Most importantly, did they get the stain out? Oh yeah, they removed Fido's stain from the couch. A little bit of pee dribble. Perfect. You know what? Now he asks this. Awesome. If you were going to leave me a review, would it be 5 stars? Of course they say it's going to be 5 stars. But here's the thing. People often say they're going to do something with the intention to do so. However, they just get distracted. So right then he says, hey, you know what? Check out your phone. I sent you a text message. You see it? Yeah, boom, open it up. See that? Perfect. Click on the link, hit 5 stars. Thank you. You've now left me my Google review. And that is an effective and efficient use of a reputation management tool and a reputation management strategy. And we're always open to consult on it, no matter what someone's sales cycle is, what kind of product, what kind of service. We'll look at the feasibility and talk about a quick, easy, painless strategy that you can employ to not only make sure that you're getting good reviews, but make sure you're finding any little crinkles or wrinkles in your operation that could be unknown to you, but causing pain or annoyance to customers, and it can be easily fixed. Now, let's look at helping. A lot of sales is about social proof and legitimacy. So this is actually a client of mine. They have 67 locations in Ontario. They have a whole bunch of different people working at their locations. So having 4 stars or more on the first page of Google is great for business. It helps them. It's social proof. It's legitimacy. But you know what the thing is? They have a whole bunch of people working there. So they need a tool and they need a strategy to make sure that things are happening very well. So now we're going to do a really, really quick role play. It's going to be a little hard. We're going to socially distance ourselves, but we are going to do a role play with my colleague, Andrew. Andrew, can you slide in here? And Brennan, can you tell me if once you can see me and Andrew? I think you gotta come over a bit. Can you see Andrew and I?
I can see Drew there. Yeah, hey Drew.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, so we're gonna pretend that Drew just visited an active Green Ross location, and I'm gonna ask him a few questions at the end of his checkout. So, thank you, Mr. Byrne, for coming again and seeing us. Overall, how was your service today?
It was pretty good, Chris. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Perfect. And you've been a repeat customer. I know you've been coming here for years. Have you left us a review yet?
No, I haven't.
No? Perfect. If you were going to leave us a review, would it be 5 stars?
Maybe not today, no.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Can we explore why it wouldn't be 5 stars? Is there something that happened?
Well, the repair, it was done on time, but when I got into the car, my seat fell back. I held my back a bit. I don't know if they put it back, they adjusted the seat or something.
Oh, you know what? I'm really going to apologize. Let me see. Sergey was working on your car. Sergey is one of our best mechanics. He's been here for a long time. He's really good. He can reach right across an engine. Guess what? Sergey's 6'5". You're about what, 6 feet tall?
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? I'm very sorry about that. I'm going to talk to Sergey. I want to make sure that beyond providing a great job, he just checks that one last thing. And you know what I can do for you? I'm actually going to give you a coupon. I know you're not for your oil change, but it's coming up in about 1,000K or so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you a coupon 50% off your next oil change because you're a valued customer as well.
Wow, that's excellent.
Perfect. Now, if you're gonna leave us a review, would it be 5 stars?
Yes.
Perfect. Well, you know what, Drew? I actually just sent through my portal here a text message to you. Have you seen it yet?
Yeah, I've got that.
Perfect. If you can just click on the link.
Okay.
Perfect. Click on the 5 stars. Okay. Type in whatever you want really quickly. Hit submit.
Yeah.
Perfect. And we'll see you soon. Just give me a call ahead of time whenever you need your oil change. We'll squeeze you right in.
Thanks so much, Chris.
Thank you. Have a good day. Okay, so that was a quick role play with Drew. Now, there was a tiny little problem there, but we found it. And who knows how long Sergey would have been doing that. Sergey is very tall, right? So those are the types of things that a proper customer experience management problem can find before it gets out of control. Next slide, danger zone. So this is where it gets really, really sticky. This is where you're still in the 4-star area, but you're about to go in the 3-star area. And I'm going to tell you, the 3-star area is not an area you want your business to be. Now, if for some reason you are in this 3-star area, don't fear. There's lots of things you can do. However, if you have only a few reviews and you're in the 3-star area, it's going to be a lot easier to get into the 4-star area. If you have a lot of reviews and you're in the 3-star area, it'll take a little bit more time, but if you invest in your business and you buy different products for your business and training and this and that, well, it's going to be a small investment to fix your reputation. Now, obviously, the Google My Business page is the cover for your business. So the danger zone is anything that is risk of going below 4 stars, either due to lack of reviews, no reviews, or several negative reviews. And if you do get a negative review, don't get scared. Make sure you respond to it right away. Not the only thing worse than a negative review is a negative review that hasn't been responded to. Okay, please remember that. Now we're gonna go into damaging. Right, brand damage is boom, right there. Interesting example, Ram. I'll tell you. Okay, anyways, so it looks like we have an interesting example here. And this isn't the worst example because sometimes we have a much lower score. But at the end of the day, being below 4 stars is really bad for your business, especially if there are other businesses that are seeking and they're for-profit businesses. This is a little bit different because one of these institutions, the one below 4 stars, is not actually a for-profit business. However, that's fine. They're more of a training college. That said, anybody that's just picking a business for a product or service that I haven't gone with before is going to pick something that's above 4 stars if those options are there. And generally, they're going to go with one that has higher amount of reviews and a higher overall score. So let's not let your brand get damaged. And now this is really cool. This is the flip side. I discovered this while talking to a large chain, different one, not going to say who they are due to an NDA. But anyways, long story short, employers often have numerous employees, and employees often don't care about the business as much as the owner does. Breeze Review provides the owner with oversight into customer and employee interactions. That is done through the dashboard. We're not going to go into it right now because we don't have a ton of time, but the dashboard provides a lot of insight and data, who's been requesting reviews and who's been leaving reviews. And then you can match that to when employees are working. Now we'll do a really quick analysis. Let's say we have 5, I own 5 dry cleaners. I have an average of 3 dry cleaners at each, 3 employees for the front end at each location. I have 15 employees. I'm pretty sure all 15 employees don't care as much about my business, my brand as I do, right? So I need to see what's going on with that. But now let's look at this. How do we get employees to take ownership? We empower the employees. If I'm an employee and I know that every time I provide somebody a service, right? Like, hey, Drew, here's your dry cleaning, blah, blah, blah. I have to be friendly because now I'm going to ask Drew in another minute, how was your experience? And guess what? That experience is only me. I'm the experience, right? So now reputation management, customer experience management has been brought top of mind. So proper customer experience management program initiative paired with the proper tool like Breeze Review will not only help get reviews, but not only give you access to our mentorship and training, it will also keep reputation management top of mind. And that is very important because businesses often have so many things going on. Sometimes things just get drowned out a little bit. Now, here's the biggest part of it all. So now we're going to do one more quick role play. Then we're going to get into review bounce. So let's come back over here really quickly. So getting reviews is really important. I'm actually going to go back because I want to make sure that you guys, there's kind of a teaser there. So can you guys see us properly again, Brandon?
Yeah, we can see you. Just increase the volume a little bit when you're speaking. That's all. Thanks.
Really?
Yeah, just a little bit for like Drew's side.
Oh, Drew, not me. Okay, Drew. Perfect. Thank you. Okay. So now we're going to be at a restaurant. I'm a server. Drew is finishing his meal. We're actually at Woodbine Casino. We work with them. They employed this strategy. So Drew is just paying up, and I'm coming up to him. He's a regular customer. I see him every Saturday. Hey, Mr. Byrne, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, thanks, Chris.
Awesome, awesome. Well, I see you already left the money there like usual for the check. Thank you so much. Yeah. And how's the blackjack table going today?
Okay.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, just okay.
Last time you said, okay, I got a pretty big tip. No,
Ah,
I'm just
yeah.
joking. I usually call me the lucky charm. Anyways, long story short, I noticed you haven't left us a review yet, but you always say you're going to.
I don't know. I always wait until I get home. I don't know.
And then you get distracted.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? You know what? My company recently brought on this new tool, and I can actually just send you a text message to your phone right now, and then you can leave the review. So I don't have to talk about it again next week. How's that sound?
Sounds fun.
And if you're going to leave a review, would it be 5 stars?
Yes.
Perfect. What's your number there, Mr. Byrne?
416-967-1111.
I didn't know you own pizza. Anyways, okay, cool. You see how that works, right? So let's see what we got going here. I know we don't have a lot of time. I'm trying to go through as fast as can. So review bounce. Review bounce is very, very important. This is the last role play for the night. Come on back over here, Mr. Drew. This is a prize role play. You're not propped. You have no clue what's going on. That's the face of a confused person. I just moved to Winnipeg. I'm your coworker. I'm going to be here for 6 months, and you are my coworker. Sorry, I'm going to be in Winnipeg for 6 months. Drew, where should I get my dry cleaning done? Oh, who do you use? ABC, 1, 2, 3, XYZ.
XYZ.
XYZ, cool. Where are they? I've never seen them before, but I heard they're out here.
Yeah, I think they're up Main Street.
You know what? I'm just going to Google it, but they're good, right?
Yeah, they're
perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to Google XYZ dry clean. Guess what? I just saw a 3.3 star rating. I'm not going to XYZ. I'm going to look for the nearest dry cleaner in my area. Boom, I found another one. It's actually called ABC. They have a 4.6. Luckily for ABC, they're going to get about $30 of business for this next 6 months. Sucks for the other guys. The only reason why I'm not going to them is because they couldn't keep the front window of their business clean. It doesn't matter where people come from these days. Referrals, they check where you are. They want to look at your Google My Business page for a multitude of reasons. Maybe just to drive there like I was going to do. I was going to click on directions, call, check the website, wait times, pictures, reviews, whatever. They will interact with that page. And that is exactly why Google has paired all of this vital information right next to the star rating. So if you're a business owner, make sure you take control of your reputation before others do, because I now know that you can see it's important. And I'm going to open the floor to any questions that any of you may have once I figure out how to get this screen down. And,
thanks, Chris. We're actually going to pass it over to Anastasia, and then we're going to introduce Steve into the call.
Yes, thank you, Chris. And now we're going to have our Senior VP of Sales, Steve Skekovic, on our call right now. Thank you, Steve.
Hi, thanks again for having me on, guys. And again, I just wanted to say welcome to everybody who's decided to join this webinar again today. You know, I hope you're getting the value out of it that I know I'm getting a huge value out of all the subjects that every day Brennan and Anastasia cover. You know, guest speakers like Chris Meunier has really kind of helped me guide myself and make some good, smart business moves during the coronavirus pandemic. So I hope you're all getting that same value. Just to kind of recap today's web series, you know, I'd like to let everyone know whether you're an established business that's been around for a very long time, that's kind of mitigating their way through the coronavirus, or whether you're a brand new business who just kind of, you know, unfortunately got started at sort of the wrong time. Every time one of your potential customers looks at you, you're giving them that digital handshake. You're giving them that digital first impression of who you are. And right now, that's more important than ever. So, as the presentation has gone on today on the web series, I hope you've, put some thought into it. And after this webinar, I hope that you go on and Google yourself by name. Google your business by name, because that's really where most people get their first impression of you as a business owner. So when you Google yourself and you see the things that pop up there, whether it's your website, your Google business listing, a Facebook page, or a LinkedIn profile, keep in mind that the thing you're looking at, that's what your referrals are looking at. That's what your new potential customers are looking at. So if you're happy with how your digital first impression is being made, they will also be happy with it. If you feel that there's going to be room for improvement there, to Chris's point about, more positive reviews, or Brennan's point about a better offsite presence as well as a website, then your referrals are going to feel that there's room for improvement there as well. And nowadays, with COVID-19 and the pandemic that's going on, it's crucial and more important now than ever that we maintain a good reputation, good digital first impression for anybody who's trying to do business with us. So hopefully you've kept that in mind. It's gotten your brains thinking about what you can do right now. I'd absolutely look forward to hearing from each and every one of you for any individual questions you may have, or even those one-on-one calls that we've been doing confidentially with people. So again, thanks again to everybody for coming. At this point, let's open it up to some Q&A. I see a couple of familiar faces on the call today, so it's good to see you guys. I like Johnny there as well, Steve again. But yeah, if there's any questions, please, let's open table this right now.
Perfect. Thank you, Steve. So we do have a question here that comes from Dan. So last week on The Verge, there was a post and it says, Google will now let any business list on Google Shopping for free. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thanks so much for sharing that. Thanks so much for sharing that. Yes, on yesterday's webinar, we had a guest speaker named Ashwin from Price Cooper Waterhouse talking about different funds and grants that are available to business owners right now, some from the government, and some like that post you just mentioned from Google. Google is really focusing right now on making sure that the business owners out there still have the ability to market themselves, because let's face it, without marketing, you don't get any customers. So they've offered an $800 million grant fund to see if you're eligible for that as a business owner. As well, the Google Shopping service for e-commerce businesses or retail businesses or any business that can sell online. They're now doing a platform where you can upload your products at no charge there. As a matter of fact, myself and Brennan have been working with quite a few e-commerce clients during this pandemic to help finally launch their retail brick and mortar store online to an e-commerce store. And not only are these online sales and things like Google Shopping helping them survive during the coronavirus, it's really helping them thrive. Most of them have seen a huge uptake in sales, far more than they ever could have in their retail store. So thanks so much for sharing that. It's something that we're managing for our clients, and anyone on the call who's interested in, kind of looking into that further, we'd be happy to help them out on a deep dive individually. Thanks so much for that.
And will SEO still apply for ranking?
Absolutely. The term SEO, for all of those on the call who are unfamiliar with it, stands for search engine optimization, because you want to optimize your presence on search engines like Google. Google, obviously, the one that we all use, because we're all human beings, and human beings only use Google. So SEO is very crucial. I'm sure Charlotte will agree that search engine optimization is very crucial to the success of any business, because it will help you rank onto that first page, which is the first impression the customer gets of you. If you do not have a valid SEO campaign working for you, you're really doing your customers the disservice of not getting in front of them.
Thank you. We also have another question from Steve Gregory. So in some of my networking group, it is encouraged for other members to leave a positive review. I have an issue with fake reviews. How do you spot the lack of authenticity?
I like seeing Steve on the call. I feel like we're becoming friends over the last few weeks now. Steve, you make a really good point. Something that I say regularly to my clients, as I let them know, a crazy person who really nothing bad happened is far more likely to leave a bad review than a relatively sane person who had a positive experience is to leave a good review. And most of us are media literate enough to know that a lot of reviews are false. As a matter of fact, a local television station here in Canada called CTV, they actually did a whole expose on fake reviews by inventing a fake food truck. And they actually purchased fake reviews for their fake business just to show how easy it is. And Google has a lot of different safety measures in place to prevent fake reviews. So unlike Yelp, that actually has no conditions and no policies, they do allow fake reviews on their platform very regularly. Google has a fraud prevention program. So reviews are screened, they can be flagged, and can be reported by the business owner. Having said that, a real review from a real customer of yours is always going to sound and read more authentic than a fake review. Someone with no profile picture, has never rated a business before, and they leave us and say, "This place is great, come now," is a fake sounding review compared to the real experience of a real customer leaving one. So with those fraud prevention measures in place, we've been able to protect most of our clients, not just from padding and pandering for their reviews, but also preventing them from getting fraudulent false reviews. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you. So those are the only question I had just now. Oh, okay, we have one more here from Jenya. We have a poor review from almost a year ago. It was not responded to. I have just started working on here and want to improve our reviews. How can I help and repair it?
Sorry, can you say the last part again for me? How can she help repair this? Great question. So being proactive, and I think you're on the right path, being proactive is the first step. So congratulations there. I applaud that. Even if a review is 6 months, 6 years, or 60 years old, since it is the internet, you will have the ability to respond publicly. We do encourage you to respond privately first to see if you can rectify the situation with that customer. And I think all of us have had the same experience where, for whatever reason, we've had an unhappy client, an unhappy customer. And for myself personally, I always look forward to the opportunity to win back their favor or win back their business. So when you do have a legitimate negative review for something, the first thing that should peak in your mind is, that's something you should respond to in your business. Maybe there's some accountability there and you can adapt to kind of how you work for that. But then always trying to, you don't have to bend over backwards and kill yourself for that customer, but definitely try to put a good foot forward and win them back. If that doesn't work, if they don't respond, we do recommend a public response so that potential new customers can see that you are being proactive, which makes them feel more secure of working with you. And last but not least, there are guidelines. So if somebody leaves a review that breaks one of the guidelines, according to Google, it can be reported and possibly removed. There's no guarantee on that, but things like if there's any cussing, if there's any profanities, or anything like that, a review would be taken down right away, which is really important. There are a lot of different management tools. Chris kept mentioning Breeze Review is actually, in my opinion, the best, most versatile, most cost-effective service out there by far on the landscape of review management. But if you still have a low number of reviews, I definitely recommend kind of working with them directly yourself.
Yeah, and I'll just add on to that. That's some great points, Steve. I think that also it's important for your business to, like Chris mentioned earlier, ask your customers, if you were to leave us a review, would it be a 5-star review? So most businesses don't ask that question to their customers. They just leave it they just let it go, and then they don't even know. And so you're getting ahead. And then at that time, the customer will say, yes, actually, I'm happy with your services or your product. I'm going to leave you a 5-star review. If not, then you can jump in and say, oh, what happened? And he identified that earlier through the role play. So that should give you kind of some direction.
Absolutely. Well put, Brennan. Well put. If there are any other questions, please feel free to type them in the chat. The reason why we enjoy kind of answering questions at the end of these webinars is that chances are if you have a question, several other people on the call had the exact same question. So it's a good chance to kind of flush it out. Brennan, Anastasia, myself, and all of our guest speakers like Ashwin, Chris, Mike Mall, they look forward to getting your feedback. So if there's something that's important to the people who join the webinar, we want to know about that so we can bring up some of that information to you on the call. Otherwise, I also know a lot of you prefer to have these questions answered, the deep dive details of your businesses and situations. I like to keep those confidential. So please feel free to reach out to Anastasia. She will get in touch with you to set up a confidential time that we can speak together one-on-one, if that's the case. And in my experience, it happens quite often. Otherwise, I'd like to thank you all for being here. I'm really excited for tomorrow's webinar. Brendan, why don't you tell us a bit about tomorrow's webinar?
Yes, tomorrow's webinar is about branding and how content online, on your website, offsite as well, can really strengthen your brand, especially during these times and during the pandemic. So we're going to talk more about that, and we hope to see you on tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific. And definitely, as Steve mentioned, sometimes the questions will trickle through here in the last little bit, so we'll keep the chat open. I think Anastasia will
I
mention.
have one more right now. Yes.
Mhm.
Jack has been very patient. So he's asking, can and is it safe to mirror GM reviews as a testimonial on the website?
Hang on, we can't hear. So, Steve, I'm going to temporarily mute you and then say the question, Anastasia, again. Say that.
So can and is it safe to mirror a GMB review as a testimonial on the website?
Very glad you asked that question. If you look at your screen right now, you'll see one of the examples that Brennan has in the screenshot there is for a company called Braun Bros. They have a wonderful product called View. And what it does, it mirrors the reviews from Google right onto their website in a frame so that it doesn't look like duplicate content, which negatively impacts your ranking on Google. So the answer to your question is yes, it's actually very valuable and a very good idea to do as long as it's done properly. If you do just kind of copy and paste on the website, it can have a negative impact on your ranking. So I hope that answers that question for you. If you'd like, please send Anastasia your web link. We'll take a look at it directly and let you know the very specifics about your website and your Google business listing.
Thank you, Steve.
Hey, Brendan, if you can stop sharing the screen for a sec, I can show the example of Braun Bros. I can share mine. It's actually Wayfair was up. It was a different website. Thank you.
Yeah, Braun Bros was the live chat one.
Oh, okay. I was going to show them the actual thing right now if they want.
Please do, Chris. That would be wonderful.
Perfect. Yeah, I just can't take over the screen. Oh, now I can. Perfect. There we go. So what Steve was talking about was this. Does everyone see the website here? Braun Bros?
Yes, indeed.
Okay, perfect. So there's a COVID banner we put up. Our West Coast team came out with an awesome free COVID business services, COVID-19 business services. So kudos to them for that and setting up these webinars. And that's the exact widget Steve is talking about. It pulls the Google My Business reviews. So, this company is how important it is. And it pulls the Google My Business reviews, and we can filter them based on star rating because they're all coming from the Google My Business page, but you can decide which ones you want over there. And then you can see that's in mobile view. It's a little different optimized, but yeah, there it is right there. So I just wanted to make sure everyone saw it.
Yeah, absolutely. And before we end the call, again, I hope you've all seen a lot of value in these subjects. I think everyone's done a great job, and I really appreciate your participation to everyone who's listening today. And, not only hopefully do you see some value, but chances are you probably know or work with a few other business owners that would also get some value from these coronavirus strategy calls that we're doing, these transformational webinars. So we also noticed a lot of people on the call still haven't actually made a website for themselves. So what we will be doing moving forward, if you invite somebody either through a social media link and tag BreezeMaxWeb in that link, and they join the call, you're going to be automatically entered for a chance to win an absolutely free, no charge, no obligation website, custom built by the web developers at BreezeMaxWeb. It'll be yours forever and ever and ever. So if you do know a business owner that's looking for some additional support beyond just the COVID-19 ad support services that we're offering at no charge, and is looking for a good new website, custom built website at no charge, please invite them to the call. We'd love to share this information with as many people as possible and help out, all across the world. Again, thank you so much for joining. Follow Anastasia on Instagram, and she'll be posting that link out as well. We hope to see you all again tomorrow. Thanks so much, everyone.
Thank you, Steve. So Brennan, I'll leave it back to you because now I think we're done with questions.
Yeah, no problem. And if there's any further questions, sometimes, like I said earlier, businesses and individuals feel comfortable asking them now. Feel free to put them in there in the chat. Definitely reach out to us for sure. It's great to be of service to all the businesses across the country and even into the States. We've had some great calls lately, and can really help you out and also take care of your marketing for you as well. So there's different things that we're offering, obviously these tools, and Steve mentioned all of them. So thank you very much, everybody. Thanks also to Chris. Appreciate you coming on again. And we're going to be back on tomorrow and then next week as well. We have more exciting topics. So thanks very much, everyone.
Thank you, Brennan. And Brennan.
Thank you, everyone.
Brennan, I have one more question here.
Yep, I'm here.
Okay, perfect. So is that a widget, Breeze Max review item?
So the Breeze review, it's called. We call it Breeze Review because our company name is Breeze Max Web. The review product dashboard that Chris spoke about, that one's not on the screen right now, but it's a dashboard that we've set up. It's a proprietary software and very easy to use. You can use it on your phone. You can use it on as a web application as well, just typing it into your internet browser. And it's very simple, very user friendly. And then the ones you see on the screen on the left are the live chat. So that's a secondary free, no charge, no contract product. And then the one on the right is obviously the banner and pop-up we mentioned. But really the basics, the most important thing with the review dashboard is as you're completing the process or the sale with your client, whether it's even over e-commerce or in person, if you have a brick and mortar, you would send it out to them right away and say, hey, thanks for coming in. Appreciate you supporting us. Hey, I'm just going to send you a quick text message right now. If you don't mind just opening it up, just let me know. Was your experience good? And then you can ask the questions that Chris mentioned earlier, and that will really help you out. So I don't know if that answers your question.
Thank you, Brandon. So I've been booking appointments throughout this hour. So if there's anybody who did not book the appointment with me for a phone call with Brennan, Steve, or Chris, I highly recommend to just put your phone number in the chat and let me know what time you're available, and I will accommodate your phone call for you. So I'll leave the chat open for another 2 minutes or so.
And I also just want to, that's perfect, Anastasia. And I also just want to mention lastly too, it's very overwhelming times for a lot of businesses. And so you might be feeling that way where you don't have a direction, or maybe you do have a direction, but you don't know what to get started on first. And that's what we're here to help you with. So bounce ideas off of each other and, give you a clear direction and next steps that you can take.
Is the Google review mirroring widget the same thing as the Breeze Review dashboard product?
Say that question one more time, Jack.
The Breeze Review product and the one that abstracts Google reviews and shows them as the sidebar, like on Braun Brothers, are those the same product, or are those two separate products, or is one part of the other?
One is no, actually. So it's separate products, and we can explain more in detail about that.
Yeah, I was asking, the earlier question was about what the product for the sidebar reviews was, and you answered about Breeze Review instead.
Sorry about that. Yeah, so you were asking about the one that Steve had mentioned earlier, the one that populates the reviews on the site, like for the Brown Brothers example.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so they're separate products, but they do work hand in hand.
And is that a Breeze Max review product?
Yes, it is.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
So we do have a couple of last minute viewers who just hopped on our call. So we're pretty much done with our webinar for today, but we will have another webinar tomorrow, same time. So if you have any questions, please just put it in the chat right now. That way I could get back to you right away. But we will be back on tomorrow again, same time. So please leave your information. Thank you.
And Jack, just wanted to mention, did you need some support with any of those tools? You have a question, we can help you out as well on the side. We can talk one-on-one. So just speak with Anastasia about that.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, I'd spoken to Stefan about 2 webinars ago, but hadn't was not aware of this product. So I can reach out to him on that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no problem. If you have Steve's number, for sure, just give him a call.
I
Yeah.
do. Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, so Brennan, you can feel free to end the webinar. I've answered all the questions that we have and I've booked the appointments.
Sounds good. And Nira, thanks for coming back on. Good to see you on there again. I'm going to be actually reaching out to you. I didn't forget about you. Breeze Review, I'll send you the link to that. I believe it's breezereview.com. So I'll send that to you as well. All right. Thanks so much. Thanks, everybody. We're going to be ending the call right now. Thanks very much. And thank you again, Anastasia. Appreciate everything.
And you as well, Brennan. Thanks.